let's talk about dreaming better dreams and giving them away. I like thinking about that because we're all old. And the last days, your old men will dream dreams, and the young ones will have vision.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, like, I feel like we're dreaming better dreams. I mean, I know my dreams are better at 52 than they were at 22 and 32.
Yeah, and what do you mean by better?
Not worse.
Okay, no, I get you, but like, so you had a dream when you were younger. When I think of dreams, I think of things that I've dreamed when I was younger and things that have happened. So some of my dreams, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but some of my dreams have come true. Fair to say? I mean, for me it is. I'm asking, have you dreamed dreams that have come true, I guess? Okay. So I guess the giving it away part is, I think, something that I would want to hear more about, to align with that, or to,
To align with it. I just wanted to talk about it.
Well, no, okay, well,
They don't have to be. I think a better dream is like not a dream that's necessarily for my personal benefit.
okay. So you're talking about just more selfless dreams.
Well, they're better. I think.
Well, that's what you mean by that. Is I guess I'm
That's
trying
one
to,
way they're better, I would think. Probably lots of ways they're better, but
What is okay? So then, what do you have an example of a dream that you have today that you feel is better in that way that you can? Is it giving away the dream, or is it just having a dream that is not self-contained in like what I can get from it and how it benefits my life? Is the giving it away part starting at the dream phase where you're going, I'm dreaming that, like, in other words, I'm dreaming I can build this center that's going to impact the lives of others. So that's a dream you have, but it's also benefiting others. Is that the giving it away already, or where does that giving it away come in, I guess?
probably all along the way. I mean, it's like the example one example I was thinking about was like wanting to have influence or being an influencer, and like, is that dream like, oh, I pretend I like things when I open new products that are sent to me, and so I'm important and I matter. I don't want to, like, I get it, I don't want to like ridicule it or make fun of that, but I could see where that would be a 20 something year old dream, or a 30, because that's what you know and what you've seen. But at 52, I'm like, oh dear God, you need a better dream. I can come up with something better than that. That's a lot better than that. But let's dream different. Let's dream bigger.
But it's not a dream for yourself. You actually are dreaming where dreams usually are for self, and something that you would pursue. You're dreaming more dreams to be carried out by others. So do you have is there anything specific to that, or is it really just that general?
There's tons of them, but like,
You have dreams that you've dreamed for other people?
yeah, I'm starting to, and that's what I'm thinking about a lot more. Like, when we think about like Shiloh battles and what do we want to do and what's our dream and what's our goal and what's our ambition with all that and everything, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's to just pave a way and say, hey, it's okay and safe to try, and you can go for it, and like for some people who are younger and maybe within Christendom or within what we call the church or whatever, to say like, oh, I can do music, but it can honor God and please Him and be fruitful, and but it doesn't have to fit into the worship music genre or something. It's already been done. I'm like, there's some permission there to think differently and dream differently than maybe what we got to experience. And that's just one example of something that we're doing, that where I'm like, I'm thinking about others.
I'm trying to think through dreams that I have had that have come to pass. And I guess for me, wouldn't it feels like a perfect dream might serve both. It might be a little bit difficult to kind of get into the minutia of trying to distinguish how much my dream is for me and how much my dream serves others, because there could be a dual purpose, or it could be collaborative in that way. Like if my dream is to write music and share it, it serves me as an artist, but it's also going to serve others that would hear it, and people like that. For instance, the person that came up to us in the lobby and introduced herself and said, "Hey, I've been listening to Shiloh, and I've been listening to the podcast, and I've been inspired to."
Right, that's the thing
to
that got me
write lyrics.
excited. What did I get excited about?
Her
Not her listening.
No, her inspiration.
Yeah, I wasn't excited about her listening.
I got it. Yeah,
That's cool, and I'm glad. That's all great. I mean, we create art because we want people to experience it. But what did I get excited? What I got excited. I got excited because she's like, I'm writing lyrics. I'm like, let's go.
right.
This is stinking awesome.
Right. So then it can be a left and a right leg, I think. At least my experience, because my dreams that I have, if they're not rooted and grounded in just selfish ambition out the gate, they're going to, to satisfy me as the dreamer and also benefit those around me,
Okay. So now you're just digging into the philosophy of,
Yeah.
if you're truly selfless, then you're being selfish. So,
Well,
sure,
no.
the most selfish act ever committed was Jesus on the cross. We get it.
But no, I don't know that I was going down that road.
No, if we start on the road, that's where you end. I'm not trying to be mean.
Well, no.
That is where you end. Like, why did he die on the cross? Because he wanted to save the world. Because God so loved the world that Jesus did exactly what he wanted to do. So it was selfless, but because he's totally selfless, he emptied himself, makes him the most selfish person who ever lived. Okay, but so,
well, that's circular, I guess, in a way. But I guess that's what I'm saying. When we say dream bigger dreams, and give them away, it sounds like the giving away is happening, like you said, all along the way, but also just in the beginning of the dream. Like, what is your dream? Like, if somebody has a dream, like you said, to be an influencer, and it's like, I want to get a lot of followers, and then I want to make a living, and then I want to live in this big house, and I want to be able to keep up appearances and just serve my needs and buy this and do that, and I'm going to do that with that could be a self-serving dream out the gate, and so everything you do along the way is going to be geared towards how can I serve the end result of what I want this dream to be. But if it's, hey, I want to gain influence so I could reach more people, share a positive message. I mean, it could be, you're kind of giving away as you go, right?
I hear it when you say dreaming dreams for others. There's like a dream that you have for someone else to be the influence.
Yeah, that can be part
It's not
of
a
it.
dream that you have just to be influential to others. It's like, you have someone in mind and a dream that goes along with that person. Whether or not you come right out and tell them, hey, I had a dream about what you should be dreaming about, or I don't know, or, you didn't have to do that in the case of the woman that came up to you and just said, hey, not only do I listen and watch, but I'm inspired to write lyrics. That wasn't you going to them and saying, oh, interesting, because I had a dream about you doing this. It was just like the dream for others was just fulfilled by doing whatever you did.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying like doing the dreaming part for other people. I'm saying dream bigger dreams or better dreams and then give them away. Like being just open-handed with them. Like here, like this is for something so much better and greater. So that it doesn't even have to be individually focused. I mean, like being a mega church pastor, and what I'm trying to do is not go, oh, hey, how do we keep this particular methodology going so that the next generation can keep doing the exact same stuff we're doing? I'm saying, oh, dear God, let's not do that. Mm-hmm. Like, let's dream a better dream, and so that you don't make the same mistakes, so that you're not caught in the same traps or, saddled with the same baggage you know, of like, I mean, that's an organizational type thing where you could say like, organizationally, in order to keep the organization going, you have to do these things because it's what people expect. So feed the consumer. And if you feed the consumer, then you're feeding a consumer-driven model. So you're just going to create consumers and reinforce an identity that's already present instead of the new identity in Christ. And you're just going to repeat the same mistakes, but probably do it better and get even worse results, or the same results, but even more of them. Mm-hmm. We've already done that. Let's do something different. Mm-hmm. Like, dream a better dream. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, lived it, done it. You know, it would be easy to look up to it and be like, oh, I want to be that or do that. Not me, but to look at the model and say, oh, that's a model I want to follow. But I think it's a lot healthier. What I'm saying is, let's dream a better dream and go, no. Like, let's dream something different.
Mm-hmm. As you're saying that, I think what comes to mind is, you know, because you referenced yourself in the terms of a mega church pastor, which you are, and I think there's a key. I think that you are having bigger dreams and giving them away. I'm speaking about you now, saying like from what I see in the sense of like most mega church pastors are gonna, and I'm just saying this in a broad stroke, but it's generally true. They lean into simulcast, multi-site church. You know, one guy, lead guy. He holds the keys to what's going to be disseminated to that community. Again, broad stroke, not saying it's good or bad, just saying that's the model. Where it seems like,
no, it's bad.
Okay, fair, yeah,
it's not good.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not healthy. Really dangerous.
I got you.
Really foolish.
Yep. I mean, and we could probably validate that statement in many, many, many ways.
You could watch another podcast and probably learn a lot about it.
Right. Right. So, okay. All right. I like that. So what the bigger dream for you that I see is that you're going, I could be the top dog, best preacher, guy that has to preach. We have multiple locations spread across New Hampshire, and we could drop screens, and I'm sure that's something that has happened. But you're like, no, I'm going to have 8. Right now we have 8 different preachers preaching on a weekly basis on through our worship services and locations and our outposts. And so your dream is, I'm going to coach these guys. We're going to preach together. I'm going to watch this team thrive, and so it's not how can I elevate myself up and up and up and continue to hold all the keys, but how can I give this dream away?
Yeah, but that's only one. Yeah, it's not just that. It's how do I give the dream to them to where, and enable and facilitate so they're coaching.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, they'll just do the same thing.
Yeah. So you want them to catch your dream as well.
Just because I was coaching, I just want them. It doesn't have to be my dream. I just want them to catch a bigger dream. I mean, but like, so if I coach them, then the coaching to them is you're only going to preach 3 times a month and be off the 4th. Right. And on that week that you're off, you're coaching someone else who's preaching. So that this the same thing is happening. We keep doing that, but that without that, it would just fall into the same practice. Like, okay, I did something different, but then we're just going to end up doing the same thing because they'll be reinforced. The people that typically hear them will tell them, "You're the best. You're the greatest. We don't want to hear anybody else. You're the only one we like to listen to. It's all about you." They will tell them that all day long, and that's what they will hear, and that's what will be reinforced. And so then it'll be too much pressure to ever train anybody else because nobody could ever do it as good as you or as well.
Right.
So it's just another, I mean, it might be a smaller version of the exact same problem, but it's the exact same problem.
Right.
And so the dream stops there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how do we, and not just, I mean, it's one example would be preaching. You're doing it with worship leaders. Dan, talk about it.
Do you think that's similar?
Yeah, we have a rotation of once a quarter, maybe twice a quarter, where the worship leaders will lead at a different outpost, and it kind of breaks the rhythm of, well, whatever you end up settling into, you know, and for us, you know, we're a growing church with new outposts on the horizon. And so for a worship leader who's leading all the time and one outpost, for them to experience leading in a new outpost that looks very different. That's, but is very much, the forefront of our vision being realized when we launch a new outpost or something like that. That's really good. It's really healthy. It also allows worship leaders to realize that, the volunteers and the people that we're serving and pastoring, they're not ours. They're the Lord's. They're serving the Lord, right? And in serving the Lord, they're serving others, but they don't belong to us, and that this is a group that is exclusive to my leadership and And so these examples of leading elsewhere becomes a way of just reacclimating to the whole instead of, zeroing in on what you're doing and what you're controlling and, any rhythm or routine that you develop to get away with.
So but we can have somebody on stage at an outpost leading worship who is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're top tier, really good. Like, but they don't have to. They're not going to lead every song. They're going to train somebody else to lead a song.
For sure.
Will that other person lead the song better than the one who might be the best?
Yeah.
No, but they're going to They're coaching
For sure.
Now, where did they get that? They got it from you.
Yeah.
Have you ever taught somebody to play guitar who didn't know how to play guitar so they could lead worship? Have you ever taught somebody to play guitar so they could play guitar in worship who's now taught somebody else to
For
play
sure.
guitar?
Yeah, absolutely. All of our worship leaders are investing in each other or residents or raising up others. I mean, that's so critical.
And so the people who have been taught are teaching, and the people that are then taught by them are going to teach. I mean, like that's a better dream. That's a better dream than you sitting alone by yourself trying to be a master guitar player and like be the greatest who's ever lived and do that.
Right.
You're replicating yourself. The same is true with you, Lucas, in production. Like no one can run sound better than you in our rooms, but you've trained people to run sound who are now training people to run sound. Mm-hmm. A better dream.
They're doing great, yeah. So it sounds like this principle, if lived out, is much broader than even just what we do and who we are here at One Church, because it sounds like what we're talking about is the difference between mine, me, this little world that's in my head and in here that nobody can really see and that I'm trying to cultivate and grow, versus the greater good, shall we say. And does this principle, I guess the question, it's kind of a question, does it feel like this translates in whatever anybody's doing? If it's somebody's business, if it's somebody's, whatever,
Yeah, it's better. It's just, it's just thinking better. Like, because and it's not just like, oh, okay, well, Bo, you're 50, so you're in your 50s, so that's what you want to do. All right, I get that. But we have people who are in their 40s and 30s and 20s who are doing it now. I didn't do that in my 40s and 30s and 20s. I wasn't doing that.
Right.
But in this environment, we have people who are doing that. So that's a better dream. They're doing that younger. So the influence is much bigger. The fruit is much greater. The fun is much better. The pressure is a lot less. It's better. So what dreams will somebody who's in their 40s right now who's doing that, instead of waiting to 50 to maybe do that with somebody, or never, most people never do it, what dreams will they get to dream in their 50s? What dreams will the person who's 20, in their 20s, who's already caught that particular dream or vision and is living that out and enjoying it and seeing the fruit of it, what do they get to dream in their 30s and 40s? You see what I'm saying? Like, the dreams get bigger, as opposed to, I want to make a name for myself and have the biggest church, or, buy my book. I mean, just the stupid things we say, like, look at me, read my book, buy my stuff.
Come to my conference.
I'm going to be the main speaker, like whatever. If we can skip a lot of that because there's a better dream in place, think of the fruit that will be produced. If people in their 20s and 30s can just skip that and go, because they got something better. Instead of just sitting there, because that's all you see then, and I get that. I'm not ridiculing it. I totally understand. That's what we know and what we're raised in and everything else. But I think the same thing, can apply to music. Like we ruin things and the joy of it and the real pleasure and when we turn it in, we make it work, as opposed to a real joy.
Worship became work.
Never any rest.
Can I say this? And just this is what came to me when you were talking, because there's got to be some balance. But I just wrote this down so I wouldn't forget it. Hierarchy is a necessity, not an achievement. In the context of what you're saying, because I don't see, as we're talking about developing, I didn't grow up that way, and maybe you guys didn't either. I wasn't around leaders that were going, we're teeing up the next generation, we're giving these dreams away, and I'm not gonna, I'm not I'm not disparaging anybody. I'm just saying it just wasn't my experience. I didn't grow up learning that. I grew up learning quite the opposite. Most of the people around me were, and I became part of that as well. It was like grabbing for power, making say, I'm in charge. It's all about me. And it came with a sense of sort of naivety as well, because it wasn't all like maniacal leadership, but it was.
It almost never is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. But in the context of what we're talking about, I think there's a passion that I see amongst the three of us, even in this conversation, to push against that. Number one, because we maybe grew up experiencing it and living in it. Then we also may have cultivated it in our own worlds. And now we're going, there's a better way. And giving this dream away appears to be that better way, or giving dreams away in general,
Yeah, you got somebody in your life who's making music right now. You trying to control that?
No, I'm actually doing quite the opposite.
Why?
Because often when we try to control things, we mess it up.
It's about us.
Yeah, it gets tangled, and it can get messy.
You don't mess it up. You mess them up.
Yeah, you don't want to mess him up. Yeah.
Him, yeah.
Yeah, or her. Yeah, but right. Yeah. The person. That's a great point, Dan.
Yeah. No, I mean that's
because it's not so much about the thing that's being produced or made, but it's about the person who's making it.
It's like letting people flourish where they're planted.
Creating it, and the dream phase is like just broadening the perspective to say, check this out. Like, what if it was this and not that? Mm-hmm. Because if it's what you know and it's what's being pumped at you from every direction about likes and shares and follows or whatever, downloads, whatever the thing is, however it's measured right now, success. If it's about that, then you're going to do things to get that, and that doesn't produce much.
It doesn't take dream.
Doesn't take a dream to do that. Not a lot of creativity.
It takes a book, a conference. It takes
not a lot of lasting soul satisfaction. Yeah. Not like it. And so if you love someone, it's not like, oh, you help them see something bigger that you're not controlling or even directing. Just it's a better dream, and then here I'm giving it to you. I lived that way. I tried that stuff. Mm-hmm. Check this out. Follow me as I follow Jesus. Do I look alive right now? Do I look happy? Do I look like I'm flourishing and enjoying life and how much fun this is? Like, yeah, you can do that and even more while still like getting to, dream your own dreams. Like,
sure. What's that song? It's just been playing in my head this whole time, and I gotta.
I've thought of 3 songs with the word dreams.
What's the song? Because it just keeps looping, and I don't know what the lyric is precisely. But I know you guys probably dream a little dream.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's dream a little dream.
Yeah, dream a
like dream a little dream for me.
For me. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And in the song's about asking somebody to dream for them.
Or yeah,
Dream a little dream for me. Yeah.
well, that's funny. Never thought of it from that perspective.
It's asking somebody dream a little dream for me.
Yeah. Tell me one more time.
But the lyric is dream a
I'm pretty sure the
little
intent was like for me being like about me, but in this application, it's really cool.
Yeah. That's what it is. Anyway.
I had Dream On, Aerosmith.
That was one of the four I had. The other one was dreams will come true. Look at me, baby. I'm an Indian. You know you got to have 'em. The other one was these dreams go on when I close my eyes. Great song.
Street dreams are made of these. Who am I
To
disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. All right, so now we have to write a song about dreams. We did. Let you young.
We've written several songs about
We've
dreams.
written several. Just a dream.
The first Shiloh record was a dream. The whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dreams are awesome. God uses dreams.
Through the night.
I mean, he gives dreams away. And that's the guy we follow and who we're emulating. Why wouldn't we give dreams away?
We are his dreams. Just thinking about that verse that says that the thoughts that he's had about us and for us, and he was thinking about us before we were even formed. Maybe we are literally his dreams.
Precious thoughts of me, how vast the sum of them. But I think that, so still just continuing like application, because that's really what, I'm very committed to the thought, dream better dreams and give them away. And I don't need to have application. I just think it's kind of a fun exercise, thinking about the application on like, if all we have are certain formats and ways of expression, means of expression, whether it be writing, books or music or sharing art, leadership, whatever it is, there are these built-in expressions that can be very narrow and confining. If we can blow those up and say, are there better ways? Are there other ways? Like what does that look like? And instead of going, oh, you have to fit into this because that's all that's available, what can we do to help facilitate that? That's stuff that I'm really interested in and thinking about, so we don't fall into the same traps. Like how do we, like we're working on trying to like blow up the worship genre of music a little bit, and others are too. I promise you that's happening. Like, well, we know it is, but like the Holy Spirit is moving that way too. So there's a genre of music called worship music. How in the world did we end up there? Money. You follow the money. So it's control. It's what sells, what works, what people will consume. So then it gets so narrow, and it just gets narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower and fewer and to where like there's no point in anybody even trying in that space. Because even if you wrote a worship song, you'd have the church has now gotten so used to just like being so narrow, they'll rip apart your lyrics and tell you how wrong they are, and you're like, it's from a psalm, like right. Read your Bible, like it's there, like or like, I mean, I was being hit with things like, well, you can't write a song that is it talking about you, or is it talking about God, or is it talking about people? You have to decide which one it is. And I'm like, read a psalm, like they bounce around like that.
First person, third
person. It's like not allowed. Like there are these rules. I don't know who wrote the rules or how they got decided upon or why people were so passionate about them, but it was like, these are the rules. You're not allowed to break them. Mm-hmm. If you do, you're a heretic and you're going to hell. It's like, all right, let's blow that up because that's clearly not healthy. Mm-hmm. Like if you can't have a rational thinking human being, like that's not God. Like
right.
So we created something that was just that needs to be blown up and dismantled so that something better can happen. And it's happening.
It's the parameters for control, right? This was probably all birthed out of parameters for controlling we need to control, we need to architect this, and this wasn't about. This came out of an era where it wasn't about freedom of expression or thought. It was more about like what are we doing for the church as a whole. This is what we've decided are the parameters, and these rules come out of that.
I don't know that people are trying to control it. I think it's more like they are the judge, and we live in a world where everyone is a judge, and so you can argue worship is not a genre because there's Christian rap and there's Christian country and there's Christian rock and there's Christian metal and there's Christian. It's like it gleams from all genres.
Well,
but
like,
it's
what's
like,
God's favorite worship song?
right? Yeah, but like
sure it's
what
Rich
it's
Mullins.
but what it's sandwiched into is the sound of music and this. This sounds like a lot of work, actually. That and if it doesn't sound like this, then it's not worshipful, and it's like,
Right, who made that
and it's
rule?
not worship, and it's like, yeah. Well, I think that's just the judgment that people carry and cast upon anything that just doesn't look
But
or
it did-
sound like the way they want it to.
It evolved. I mean, there was an evolution of it. So you had like CCM, contemporary Christian music, and there was a lane that people could go in, and so it was new and different. So some people dreamed maybe a better dream, and started making music, but then it had to get labeled, and put into a subgenre of something, so then there was an opportunity for there, to have an economy around it, and yet the economy that's a smaller consumer base, and these bands like to tour or make any money or live, just survive. I mean, it didn't take very long. It was 20 years of contemporary Christian music before it was like, oh, you'll do a lot better if you just sing songs that they'll sing on Sunday morning, and it'll be more palatable, more easy listening, more palatable for a broader base of people that they can sing in church. A label can get behind that and support that.
Yeah, it's being sung every Sunday.
It became about ROI, right?
So the
labels
metric
gonna
is there.
invest.
The metric is there, and it's predictable,
Yeah.
and it's scalable. And
So like a band would get older and be like, okay, well, we'd like to have a family or something, what? And then you don't have bands anymore because it's like, where's the end? Who's interested in this? Like, how am I going to do this? Because it became about something else. But then that got really highlighted and celebrated as this is what success looks like, is being a successful money-making, artist, even within the Christian circles. And so, well, how do you do that? Well, you follow the same formula because this is the formula that's there. And if you're not interested in doing that, then there's no point in you even trying. Anyway, it devolves, whatever you want to think. I think into where we end up with fewer and fewer players, and it getting narrower and narrower, and that being, I mean, it's happened before. It's nothing new. It's probably cyclical every 50 years or so. And it's like, all right, well, let's blow that up and let's dream better music dreams. Let's think differently. Like, what is appropriate to use in worship or play on Sunday morning? What instruments are allowed? Like, what can people look like who are on stage? But I mean, it's sad, but like, your average person probably isn't thinking a lot about that, but this is the stuff people think about. Like,
What are the rules? I remember being a child, as you were talking about that, it brought back a memory of, I was young, very young, and this would have had to been the 80s, but I remember walking in like a commercial box store of some sort, and all of a sudden a known Christian artist, just wildly celebrated in CCM, her voice comes out over the speaker, and she's not singing a Christian song.
Amy Grant?
Maybe. Maybe.
Lauren
How
Daigle-
dare
Lauren
you.
Daigle?
And I just remember, no, in the 80s, I just remember like a feeling of like, oh no. And I'm a kid, right? So this is just what I've been hearing.
turned
like,
her back on
yeah, like
Jesus.
she's left the flock, It's like what was the song, Baby Baby? baby, baby.
That'd be Amy Grant.
Put my heart in. Yeah, no, yeah. And just so I don't even know how I picked up that feeling, but it was like, oh no, this can't be good, you know. But this was a woman who was wildly celebrated in Christian music, and then decided to do something that wasn't specifically in that lane, and it was like people had to draw a line in the sand and decide, are we going to listen to Amy Grant ever again? Not even. And I think
She
one of the
sang
women
about
did it.
something besides Jesus.
Yes, and I think the one of the women who did that and got the same kind of whiplash was Sandy Patty.
Sandy Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
She can do no wrong.
digging into the well, she had done some kind of duet. And it
Well,
was
Michael W. Smith. I mean,
Oh yeah.
there were a number of.
he was later, right?
And then Amy
No,
Grant
same-
did that
oh,
song with
different.
Chicago. The guy from the Chicago.
Oh, okay.
She did that duet with him, and then that was like, whoa, now you're just like, I think it was the song, Next Time I Fall in Love. You know the song? I think that was the song. I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
But
like,
these are
that
like
out.
the early kind of CCM martyrs of like we're gonna just be creative, and it's like the church went out, like a lot of people, probably some people didn't, but for the most part, because if I'm a kid and I was feeling this, where did I pick that up? I don't remember. I mean, I heard it somewhere, or somebody said it. Some adult around me probably was like, "She's gone, she's out," you know, and then it was like, "Oh no, what is she?"
well, it's because we created a narrow dream. It
Yeah.
was like music that's not Christian music is bad, so let's make music that's about Jesus. That music's okay, and then anything else then has to be bad, no matter who it is or what it is. And
Right.
so you can't even think like a logical human being. That, I mean, you could. There's so much in the Bible. Like people worship this book in place of God, which is tragic, but
Right.
wonderful book. Like
Give us the
words of God,
commandments.
so great. But like to encounter God, like there's love in the Bible. There's pain and there's war and there's so much in there, like to think about and sing about, but because it's life and people, and if we get so one-sided or narrowly focused, you can really miss out. So we've had enough of it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's just one element. Let's dream better dreams and give them away.
Give it away now.
Give it away. That's not. Can I just share one little anecdotal story about this Amy Grant thing, because it ended up leading me down a road where I tested the waters, because I was primarily what I'd call an urban gospel artist. Those were my first 2 albums. That's what I was doing. I was going to youth groups. I was touring and traveling and doing all that. And then one day I did a song, and I released it, and it started getting some comments and feedback from people that were not necessarily in the church. And it was called For You, FOURYOU. And I literally was like, I'm going to write a love song. And I went into the Message Bible, and I went into Song of Solomon's, and I just took all these little phrases about love and put them into the song.
Which is about romantic love, by the way, just
Correct.
in case people don't know. Like,
That's
in the Bible, the
not
Song of
a
Solomon,
metaphor.
But I
it's
remember
about
that's-
romantic love.
But I remember doing it so that I was like, when the whiplash comes, when the feedback comes, I'm going to just be able to pull up these scriptures and be like, look at.
How dare you pull from the Message?
See the fawns, see the deer. You'll never look at them differently.
I've never
You'll
looked
never
at
look at them the
gazelles
same
like
way
this
again.
No, there was nothing weird like
No,
that.
I
But it
know.
was just like,
Oh, just so you know, guys, that's in there. And
it for sure is. Yeah. Solomon liked his metaphors. Yeah, so there was just a lot of metaphors in it. And people that didn't have anything to do with church music or Christian music loved the song, and people that did hated it. And then when it was like, well, but no, look, it's all Song of Solomon, it made people think, like, oh, maybe I can't hate this.
Yes, I can. Hated it.
Hated it.
Well, I was in a conversation not too long ago with somebody about songwriting, and they said, yeah, at our church, like every song that's written goes through a committee of like theological committee whose sole purpose is to,
Shred it.
qualify the lyrics, of the song before it ever gets heard or released or anything. I'm like, there's a whole committee of theologians. Yeah, they're like a theological committee, you know. And they're like, do you have that? I'm like, well, Isaiah wrote this chapter, and that's where we wrote the song from. I kind of struggle to think of who else I need to.
We need a committee.
We need approve of this, please.
I make light of it. It was just it was fun. Yeah, and Joel wrote this, and so we sang that. And then Psalm 23 says this, so we said this, you know. And the Lord's Prayer says this, and so we sang this, you know. No committee required. I mean, well, I'm not, honestly, any, like, the due diligence and making sure, you know, that you're not leading people astray with some of the words that you're using is, I don't know. I guess, you know.
We do that. Well, I mean, in a sense, we do that when we're writing. I mean, if Bo's sitting in the corner on his laptop and we want to change words, I mean, we essentially have this moment where it's like, okay, does that line up with what we're trying to say? Does it still stay true to the, you know, the integrity? And I'm speaking specifically about maybe a congregational worship song. But
yeah.
Well, we write all kinds of. Most of what we write has multiple meanings.
Yeah.
On purpose,
for sure,
because it's more interesting. Or I find it more interesting. Like,
yeah, you're known for the quadruple entendre.
Yeah, a lot of they just have multiple ways of looking at it. But I mean, that's true with the scriptures too. You know, it's like it's good. I think it's healthy. And,
Yeah.
And it, you know, someone can sing something one way, and another person can sing it a different way. It's the same song. Great.
Yeah.
Is the Holy Spirit gonna do anything?
Yeah. Is there any room for that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is. I mean, there is in the preparation. There is in the work. There is in the writing. There is, you know, but there's also in the expression. And then, you know, it's like, all right. I don't want people to be I don't want people to be afraid anymore.
That's okay. So then that's before we put a period on this episode. I think that's what I'm feeling from you.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of like righteous indignation against this fear.
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed.
No, but that's good.
Voice, yeah.
No, that's good. No, but at least understanding why, I think is crucial, and I think that helps us. It gives us something to walk away with.
I just want us to let's take the shots.
Yeah.
And then other people don't have to anymore. They can take different ones.
And let's not be afraid of fear.
Yeah.
Or move in fear.
It's so funny that people are always like faith over fear. They're usually the scariest people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, if you have to get the tattoo, it's because you...
And then they wield fear.
Yeah, right? Faith over fear.
You don't have faith. I'm going to kill you. I do have faith. I also have a brain.
I just didn't buy the t-shirt.
I have faith that you can't kill me.
Sorry.
So faith over fear? No, I was gonna...
Sure. I don't know. Fear is pretty important too. The fear of the Lord. Like, yeah. I mean, like,
let's have some of that too.
Yeah, that's like I don't. You know me. I don't do that whole. You know, like, fear is like not real. Like fear, yeah, there's real things. Like, sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
no, you can't be afraid here. You believe. There's no fear.
False evidence appearing real. That was the thing.
Ooh.
I'm like, no, that's pretty real evidence.
Just triggered me.
I mean, we probably acknowledge it, you know, and be like, all right, what am I afraid of?
You know how many sermons that I've heard just full of acronyms?
Yeah.
Oh, no.